I want to welcome everybody today. Thank you for coming out. I just briefly want to thank our sponsors, Gateway Technical College, for providing this nice space. We really appreciate it. Ideal Impressions for doing the video today, so that we'll have that for anybody after the fact, or if you want to share it with anybody, we'll have a video clip probably up in about a week. And then I also want to thank Sales Technic for providing this event today. I think it's going to be a really useful event in the last quarter of the year. And so I do want to just briefly introduce our speaker here, presenter, Peter Rathman. He has more than 26 years of sales leadership experience and has hired, trained, and coached sales teams across multiple industries, including manufacturing, distribution, hospitality, employee benefits, professional services, and nonprofits. Since 2011, Peter has worked with over 125 companies in southeast Wisconsin to help them develop their sales structure, sales processes, sales activities, and sales talents. And so really happy to have Peter here today. I think it's going to be a really useful presentation, and I'm going to turn that over to Peter.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me okay if I don't use the microphone? They scare me to death. So, I want to thank Derek for putting this together. The way this evolved, we spent some time together building some success stories and documenting those here in the county. And we're looking at the list, and I'm like, Derek, there's no sales on here. There's no business development as part of this series. He's like, no, you're right. I'm like, listen, I happen to know somebody that does that, and he's cheap. So he's like, well, put something together. I'll get it out there. So I did, and he did. So here we are today. So very excited that so many of you turned out for this, because I think it validates something that I've been saying in the marketplace. And one of my key hot buttons is that the sales funnel is your primary sales management tool. It'll help you identify what's in your future, kind of where you're weak now, and what you have to change to get there. Okay. So the other thing I want to thank Derek for is, listen, how are we going to put so many people in the room? And it was really nice, Derek, if you'd offer $50 cash to everybody that showed up this morning. So see Derek on your way out for that. All right. All right, so focusing on your sales funnel, okay? I'm going to spend the next 45 minutes here giving you a couple of tools, and they're not meant to be depressing, but they might be, okay? But they'll at least give you an opportunity and identify where you need to do things a little differently. So going to discover what your sales funnel is really worth, going to figure out what you need to be doing less of, okay? I like being contrarian. Everybody, I have to do more and more and more. Guess what? Let's start with what you have to be doing less of. And then we're going to give you a qualified target list of what I call low-hanging fruit, okay? Should it give you enough to keep you busy here for the next 30, 60, 90 days. So my whole goal this morning is to give you these tools, give you the opportunity to increase the volume of your sales funnel, right? Everything that you're working on, and then how to move things through it faster, okay? Give you a quick couple of numbers here. So there's 52 business days left until Christmas. Okay, break that down into an 8-hour day. That's 416 hours. Okay, if you're in sales, you probably typically only sell 20% of the time at most, which means you have less than about 80 hours to sell to make your numbers for the rest of this year. All right, so that kind of gives you an idea of how much efficiently you have to use your time between now and Christmas time to make your numbers for the year. Okay, so I want to start by getting everybody on the same page. Okay, some of you in here have no doubt ended up in a business development role, never having planned on going into sales before. Right? Guess what? You've all been in sales your whole life. Naturally, we already spend 24 minutes of every hour convincing people of our way, what they need to do, right? Kind of convincing them to make a decision. So you're already in sales. And I want to define it, these three points. Okay, it's nothing more than having a passion for what you do, being able to talk smartly about it to others, and then creating activity where there was no activity before. Listen, we'd all love the phone to ring and just pick it up and book business, right? But you're either invested in yourself or somebody that has invested in you in this room to go out and create activity and find that business to bring it in, okay? So how many of you have heard the term always be closing, right? How many of you remember the movie Glengarry Glen Ross, right? Coffee's for closers, always be closing. Kind of a new spin on that. So attunement, buoyancy, and clarity. Okay, attunement is knowing what's going on in your marketplace, what's going on with your prospect's business, what's going on with trends. Okay, having knowledge of everything around you. Buoyancy, okay, always being positive, always looking for the opportunities out there. Okay, don't let the world get you down. There's going to be a lot of no's in your life. Okay, but always look for the other opportunities because they're out there. And then clarity, clear expectations on both sides, both parties involved with any business transaction. Right, clear expectations of what we want of each other. Everybody heard of big data? Right? Let's start with small data. All right, so knowing your numbers, being educated about your customer base, who are the good customers, who are the most profitable, okay, what's your distribution percentage? Okay, if you can sell 10 things but your customers are only buying 2, guess what? You get 80% more things to sell just to your current customer base. Okay, so understanding your numbers about the sales that you have going on right now, about your marketplace and about your business. And then givers get. Okay, if you're in business development, if you're in sales, you're already kind of naturally wired for it. Okay, you want to have to help others and like to solve problems. Right? And if you're always going into the meeting identifying what the problem is to solve and how I can help you, listen, yes, there will be some no's and not yets, but if you keep doing the things the right way with the right people for the right reasons, those things will come back to roost. Okay? So that's kind of my philosophy on what sales is in this day and age. So, given that there's only 80 hours left to make your numbers for the year, let's jump right into this first tool. Now this first handout, you guys will walk through this. All 3 of these tools were developed out of the past 4.5 years of working with individuals just like yourselves, working with companies that you work with. All right. So in a way, the marketplace has developed these, and I was constantly asked, well, listen, how much activity do I need to do? Where do I need to get better? Sales and marketing is a very soft science, right? You can't put a tangibility on it most times, right? We think something's going to close. We think something, conversation went right. We really like that individual. Hey, they really liked me, right? So at the end of the day, I wanted to take the gut feeling out of the sales funnel, and we created this tool. I created this tool as a way to make it a numbers game. Okay. Now, walk you through this briefly. And we'll fill in a couple, but part of the homework, if you saw the invite, was to bring your top 10 opportunities and what they're worth, right? If you didn't, you can fill them in. So one of the philosophies out there is this BANT. Okay, the acronym stands for what's along the top of this tool: budget, authority, need, timing, trust. Okay, in my mind, those are the 5 ingredients that make every sale successful. Okay, you have to identify if they have the money to pay you. You have to identify if you're dealing with a decision maker. Okay, you have to identify if you can fill the need without doing anything different of what your service offering is. Right? Is it in your wheelhouse to provide the service for this business? Timing. See this in a lot of industries with long sales cycles. Listen, if somebody's just talking to you to get an idea of costs, to budget in 2017, to maybe purchase in 2018, in my mind, that's not a good fit right now. You want somebody that's going to fit into your normal sales cycle. So maybe they're going to buy in the next 3 to 6 months. okay? And then trust, right? Wisconsin is a very high trust area, right? We like doing business with people. People still buy from people, so you still have to have that relationship, right? The fact that you're all here right now, it tells me that you're out in the marketplace talking to people. So these 5 categories each get a 1 to 20 rating, okay? So if you even know one of your opportunities that you're working on right now, listen, take it through this little formula, right? What is it? How much is it worth? On a scale of 1 to 20, do I know they have the money? Okay, on a scale of 1 to 20, am I dealing with a decision maker? Can I fill that need? Are they gonna buy within, say, 3 to 6 months? And do they trust me? Okay? At the end, if everything's there, that should be a 200, right? Or 100, sorry. Simple math, I'm in sales. That should be 100. So then, where does that score come in? And then you can repeat this process for the next 9 of your opportunities. Okay, when I take a sales team through this and take a business owner through this or take anybody through this, I've never seen this score come back higher than 40%. Which means we're not having the right conversations, we're not asking the right questions, we're not finding the right opportunities, we're just talking to everybody and wanting to be everything to them, okay? So this will teach you to focus in on those right opportunities, on the ones that are, hey, listen, all the parts are there, there's no reason this sale should not happen, okay? So add those up horizontally, get your total, but also vertically here, it's gonna tell you which categories you might need to improve on, where you might need to ask better questions. Okay. Does that make sense? All right. And if anybody wants help, I'm going to stick around as long as I need to kind of help you work through this. What's neat, though, is listen, you don't have to use my language. Okay? I did this with a bank the other day. Their target audience, we put their top 5 qualifiers of an ideal client into here. They had to be greater than 20 million in revenue. They had to do business internationally. They had to be tech savvy. They had to have a 401k greater than 5 million. And we had to have a first level connection to them on LinkedIn. So that was his 5 categories to proceed or not, all right? So this works exactly if you want to grow your son's Cub Scout troop as well, right? What are the 5 characteristics of that Cub Scout to get you into a troop? It works well for nonprofits if you want to find new donor bases. What are the 5 ideal characteristics of that donor base? Right, there's hospitality in the room, there's construction in the room, right? What does that ideal client look like for your property, right, or for what you build, okay? So, next tool. Does everybody have one? Okay. So this was a fun tool to build. It was one of the first things I built when I was still in the frontline sales. I couldn't get a strong answer out of my sales manager, out of the owner. Listen, how much do I need to sell? Tell me what success looks like. Well, you got a business card, you got an email address, just go find business, right? Not that easy. So being a numbers guy, listen, kind of figured out, okay, listen, I'll set my own goal, all right? And then I'll reverse engineer what I know to be true right now on what I do and figure out how many emails do I have to send? How many phone calls do I have to have? How many meetings do I need to set? How many proposals do I have to put out there? Okay? So this tool is meant to reverse engineer how you're going to get to your goal. All right? So make it personal, make it based on your company. either or. I got extra copies if you want to do one of each, okay? So start with your goal. Helps to know what an average sale looks like, right? If I want to make $100,000 this year personally, and an average sale is worth a $10,000 commission to me, I need 10 of those customers, right? What if I only have a 20% close rate? Now I need to put 50 proposals out there, right? What if only 10% of the people I meet with actually want a proposal from me? Man, that means I got to meet with 500 people, right? So where am I going to start getting smarter with my time? Probably going to try to increase the average value of a sale, right? Or maybe only 2% of people want a proposal from me. Listen, I got to find better people, right? So you go back to that previous tool, it's going to identify, listen, what are the good opportunities that are working out there and where you need to focus your time better, okay? So you can kind of reverse it, you know, and not knowing your percentages, don't worry about it, okay? Guesstimates are fine. At least it's going to give you a benchmark of where to start from, okay? How many of you are working off of a software, a CRM platform, and have an actual sales funnel in there? Probably about 10%, 15% of you, which is not uncommon. Okay, 10% of companies are using a tool to measure this. So in an ideal world, you'd be able to come in, log on to your computer each day, and it would give you these numbers. And you could have a plan then of what you need to do a little bit better. Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple of focus tools here. I call them the Peter principles because I can. Okay. So first one is typical sales management is very rear view mirror. Okay, how many people have walked into meetings? So how many calls did you make last week? How many emails did you send out? How many people did you make with? Listen, that's all in the past. Okay, so listen, what are we doing next week, right? That's going to put us in a better position to find more business or close more business. All right, so I've always worked with teams to figure out kind of what a 1%, what a leading indicator is. What's a triggering event, okay, in your sales process, that if that happens successfully, the other 99% happens, okay? Is it getting an assessment of their IT environment? Okay, I had a client, everybody needed that next $500,000 client, okay? And we figured out, no, as long as you get an assessment of the IT environment and help them understand where their risks are, listen, the project work just came, right?
That's the basic question. Somebody,
sure.
Should I take notes of these bullets, or is this going to be available later, or should I?
It'll be available
make sure
later.
I do it.
But yeah, there won't be a printed out version of this.
There will not. Is that
correct?
Okay.
It'll be online, and then
Thanks.
we'll send out the link.
Oh, thank you.
So not a problem. So a triggering event, a leading indicator, okay? Is it giving a tour of the property? Is it the main meeting planner spending the night in your property and having breakfast that she knows that the property's okay, all right? Is it somebody applying for a license somewhere? Is it an application that they submitted to the county that's public knowledge? Is there a bank loan that's expiring in 9 months that, hey, this is probably a good time to go talk to the guy about his lawn, right? So there's always something. It's like, what is that one thing that if you do properly, listen, it'll drive the other 99% of the funnel. It's going to help you cut all the other stuff out of there. Oh, I've got to send out these last emails. Well, you know, is that focused on the goal? Does it fit in with what you figured out before? Is it really, you know, going to help move you forward? Okay. And then creating some simple rules to help support your decisions. Okay. So I kind of have a rule when I was building my business, and this may seem kind of unfriendly, but listen, time is your biggest asset. Okay. I had a rule that, listen, if this person I was meeting with didn't potentially lead to revenue, got to say no. Or if it's a person who's potentially going to introduce you to somebody that's going to lead to revenue, okay, proceed. But if those two didn't have a yes attached to it, listen, I had to say no, even if it was, you know, a friend that was unemployed, even was a friend of a friend, hey, can you help them out? Listen, I had a business to build. I had sales to go get. I had a family to feed, right? So I put some rules in place that if they were met, I would proceed. Second Peter principle. All of your sales and marketing messages and processes aligned on that target audience. Okay, I see a lot of disconnect out there. The marketing department's putting stuff out there, sending an email newsletter to people out there about this thing, and listen, I'm the one on the street having these conversations. Okay? So 3 questions, what I learned in my college course, everybody's gonna get together in a room and, well, what should we do? Listen, start with that goal, identify who the target is, okay? What does that target want? And, and the word target is kind of harsh, but we all understand it, right? I want to take the human out of it, but listen, they're a target for my business. What do they want and how do they buy? Okay, I've seen a lot of companies, hey, we have a 9-point selling process. That's great. What if your customer only takes 2 steps to buy, right? You're wasting a lot of air, right? So figure out how they buy and align both the messaging, right, and the activities on those potential buyers. Okay. And it maybe not, it's not just somebody that buys from you, maybe it's a strategic partner or a networking contact that can introduce you to some people, right? To me, in my mind, those people are a target too. A lot of them have become really good friends, and I'm very fortunate to have them. But at the end of the day, let's call it duck a duck. They're still a target to help grow my business. Okay? So let's look at this third tool. So listen, I come from a family of engineers. So I came up with this philosophy about sales, is sales is being a sales engine. So your organization has to have multiple parts working in synchronicity to push forward into the marketplace, right? It's the only way I could get my family to understand what I did. So you'll notice the names of the tools, right? Torque, fuel, throttle, kind of all fit into that idea. So this third tool, this is always a fun one to work through with individuals. Because there's so many people that spend time out there going, I gotta find all this new business, I need the next lead list. Listen, when are we doing that newsletter list? Well, I guarantee you there's a lot of low-hanging fruit in your current customer base, okay? And in the people that they're connected to, and in your social network. Okay, so this is just a focus tool. Again, you've probably figured out with the first tool kind of where you need to have better conversations and what you need to get better at qualifying, right? That second tool taught you kind of, okay, what you need to get better at moving people through the sales funnel. Now this gives you the tools to who to go talk to next. Okay? So if you have a top 10 company ranking report, who your top 10 clients are, right? Listing them out, like I said, I guarantee you there's probably not, there's not a lot of customers that buy everything you offer, right? You have the potential to sell multiple things to the same people, right? An example, a distribution client I worked with where they sold appliances to the hardware stores in northern Wisconsin that not only carry all the shovels, but listen, they carry appliances too. And we were so proud of this account in Eagle River. It was the highest selling account of all the refrigerators we offered. Okay, now we offered them 27 different product lines besides refrigerators. But we were so busy celebrating the fact that they were our #1 refrigerator account. The guy never asked for an order for the other 26 items that we could have sold him, right? How many sales do you think was there the second year when he discovered, well, yeah, I should talk to him about those things, right? So if you look at your whole portfolio of what you offer, how many of your top 10 clients are buying everything, okay? Guarantee you, they're already buying from you, right? What's the rule about energy spent on finding a new client versus keeping an old one? It's a 9-to-1 ratio in energy, right? So listen, I'd rather take the time with the clients currently purchasing from me and go out and sell them more. Okay? great time of the year right now to go have a strategic business review with your top clients. How'd your year go? What are you doing next year? Tell me about plans you have coming up, right? Hey, by the way, thanks for all this business. Oh, and did you know we also do X, Y, and Z, right? Great time to have those conversations right now. So I'm assuming, because they're top 10 clients, that they like you, okay? So then the next question, besides, hey, I offer X, Y, and Z, listen, who else do you know that should know about what I do and what I deliver? Okay, if you like what I do, would you introduce me to somebody in your network? Okay, most of our customers are a member of some sort of association, right? They're in a CEO roundtable group. They're doing something in their church. They're networked to other people that are capable of buying your products and services. So just go out and ask them for a referral. It's one of the easiest things to forget to do. Okay, we forget to ask for additional business, and we forget to ask for a referral. Ideal targets, remember that whole thing about knowing your numbers? Okay, what are those good customers that are profitable, right? Buy repeatedly from you, buy everything from you. What do they look like? What industries are they in? What size are they in? What's their philosophy? All right, that should give you a pretty good idea to build a target list around other companies that look the same as those ideal targets you're trying to go after. Okay? Don't try to be something to everybody. Go after the ones that are good for your business. Okay? So, and you notice the arrows, listen, at any time, a referral can become an ideal target, target can become a strategic partner. Right? Who do you work well in the marketplace, right, that already has access to those ideal targets out there? How can you use your networks, your friends, okay, those people that you already know in the marketplace to get in those doors? Okay, I work very well with a couple of CFOs for hire, as well as a couple marketing firms. They already have those relationships. The CFO is telling them, listen, you need sales. The marketing firm is saying, listen, we gave you a website, a brand, a logo, and some messaging. You got to go sell, right? So when there's some, hey, listen, I found some great strategic partners out there. Right? I don't have to knock on many doors anymore because those people have identified the problems for me. And they like me. So, right? So that's the referral partners. And strategic. And then listen, if you're not on LinkedIn, if you're not looking at some of the social networks, if you're not looking at what's going on in your community and the people that are already talking about things and problems that they're having in the space around you, it's time to get online. Okay? So I'll follow a bunch of different job posting boards, right? I'll look at what my clients are saying. I'll look at what's going on at some of these events and listen to panel discussions, right? And so, you know, it's not just being on Twitter and not just having a Facebook page. It's actually using those tools to read what's going on in the marketplace, okay? You don't have to post, you just have to listen. So follow the right organizations, follow the right associations, right? And we posted it on all our channels, and I know there's people here because of that, because you were listening, right? Questions? All right. So 3 and 4, I said this a little bit earlier, time is our biggest enemy. Less than 80 hours left of sales time if you don't change your habits and lock your door. Keep all the distractions out, right? So I put things into 3 what I call buckets of my task list, okay? The ones at the top, listen, these are the things I need to do, but they're gonna eat my family at the end of the day. But don't get me wrong, a couple of them I'd like to see eaten once in a while, okay? But at the end of that's how you gotta prioritize things. Listen, these are the things that have to get done today, okay? Then there's the second level of the things that you need to do because others are counting on you. Okay, those are the contracts you got to put out. Those are the things that you got to follow up with people for because, you know, you're a leader at the end of the day. And then there's the want to do. The want to do, you know, we always default to. It's kind of the path of least resistance, right? Oh, you know, I got to design this newsletter. Okay. You know, what's the purpose? Is that aligned on the goal? Do we know who the target is, what they want, how they buy? You know, if that's part of that process, outstanding. There was a great line I heard about a year ago, and I like repeating it. It was a guy by the name of Robert Rose. I saw at a Business Marketing Association event. And he said, don't confuse the success of the activity with the contribution to the bottom line. Confuse the success of the activity with the contribution to the business. Okay, takes a lot of the want-to-dos out of it. Right? So if I'm playing part-time sales manager, VP of sales in your organization, or you've asked me to help keep you guided, listen, there's only 3 things I'm interested in what you're doing next week. Okay? What are you doing to fill the funnel? What are you doing to move things through the sales funnel? And what are you doing to get yourself in a position to do more of those 2 things? Okay? It goes back to that time management. It goes back to understanding what's important. Okay? So again, at the end of the day, if we're only out there selling 20% of the time because we're also busy doing lead generation and email marketing and posting on Facebook, and now we're doing contracts and delivery, we're even doing financing, we're doing billing, we're doing collections. Listen, that 80 hours, you really need to know who you're talking to and what you're talking to them about. So kind of the formula for the next 30, 60, 90 days when you leave here. Okay? Identifying what those right activities are that are going to fill and move the funnel, right? With the right people, the right lead sources. Okay? If you have a CRM system and you're tracking lead sources, you can kind of see which ones are working. Right? My suggestion would be to focus deep and wide on the ones that are working, and go all in on those until they're exhausted. Okay? Quit doing 15 things okay and focus on 3 things really great. Okay? So the right lead sources, having the right conversations, right? It's going to give you better opportunities in that sales funnel. Okay? It's going to give you some better, higher value opportunities that are probably going to close faster because they're higher qualified. Right? So listen, this is every way you can find me. Best $5 I ever spent was having my professional photo turned into a Simpsons avatar. Brilliant, makes me stand out. Okay, so myself or my company in any of these channels, I always like giving salespeople an additional tool. Google Plus, we'll see how long it sticks around. But there's a tool called Meetup out there. And if you haven't found it yet, find it. And I've created a group around Walworth County sales professionals. I've got a couple members in here today. Right? We get together once a month just to share war stories and best practices and kind of use each other as a sounding board for problems we're having. So find us on that tool, free. What's that? The Waukesha County Sales Professionals, and it's on this Meetup. It's one of the groups in here. Oh, sorry, Walworth County. I have a Waukesha County. I don't have to drive it. So Walworth County Sales Professionals. The other thing is just Know Me. Anybody heard of that? Anybody using that yet? Okay, I had 3 people, very credible, send me their Know Me. Write text on my phone. And it saves you from looking them up on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, profile, about us, on our webpage. Kind of a really good way to get yourself in front of somebody and have them know everything about you. All right, so it's something I need to investigate because it's a great way to get your foot in the door in this digital age. The fact that everybody's on their smartphones 50% of their time and uses those to search out things. You know, if the guy sent it to me in the middle of a meeting, and I was able to pass it around the room and say, listen, this is who we're meeting with next week. Everything about him, his history, his background, what stuff he does. Kind of a neat tool to use right now. I think it'll kind of set you apart in the marketplace for the next 6 to 9 months before it kind of becomes mainstream. Okay.
Does it grab everything from LinkedIn to populate that, or do you have?
That I haven't investigated it yet.
Okay.
I think it stands alone separately. I don't think it
really
pulls from them. So I think you have to populate it, but then everything's there, and you can put links if they want to go know
I see.
more about you.
Got it.
All right. All right. Questions, concerns, feedback. Listen, I'll stick around as long as I need to help you you guys work through any of these things, if you want a one-on-one. Listen, if you want me to come by the office and help you kind of work through some of these and help you kind of create your own roadmap, listen, the offer's there, you guys, okay? Question?
I just wanted to make a comment that, just talking about technology and social media and things, there's a free class that Wceda is sponsoring. It's called Building a Successful Web Marketing Strategy. That's Wednesday night in the community room at Badger High School, if anyone wants to attend that.
It's a great.
It's you know, working with your web page and kind of integrating social media and that type of thing, if anyone is interested.
I look at a well-built website and inbound marketing as kind of the 12th man on the field. Listen, your web presence can be a salesperson for you. You know, especially if you're your own entity out there and you're a business owner working on your own stuff. You know, listen, you already have a passion for it. You know how to talk to people. You just don't have the time to go find it. Make them find you.
Huh? It's called Building a Successful Web Marketing Strategy. It's 6 p.m. in the community room at Badger High School this Wednesday night.
Thank you. Any other events going out there that all of you could benefit from? Anybody else know anything going on? Thank you for coming today. Appreciate your time. I hope these were helpful, and like I said, I'll stick around as much as you need. All right? Thank you.
We finished early here, but thank you for coming. If you aren't a member of Wceda, I appreciate that you consider that. We can do more events like this and help your business. We have some information at the back there, but thank you for coming. Appreciate it. We'll post the slides on our website. You can always email us if you can't find it or whatever, and also the video link. So there's more coffee and daily stuff, so please help yourself, or like Peter said, feel free to talk to him a little bit.
There's extra copies in the schools if you want to take some for friends, and my business card is back here too.
So yeah, just look at the back there before you come. Thank you for coming.